Shalom, shalom. Now, before we start this lesson, I want to give all honor, all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. All right, double honors to our elder apostle who well. Citation to the fellow Akim who labor under the apostle doctrine, and to the men and women and children that sincerely believe. To you I say shalom. This is Sirach 2 and 5. It reads, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." So what is that talking about? The furnace of adversity, right? First of all, we are likened onto gold, in this verse. And when you get into that word tried, it's talking about being tested. See, to try. It says, look, to use, test, or do something new or different in order to see if it's suitable, effective, or pleasant. To try out, to test, to check out. So as gold is tested to see in the fire, right? To see if it's real or not. Okay. Acceptable men, acceptable men, ourselves, you know, those who believe on Yahweh Shema Shah, they're gonna be tested and tried out and checked out to see if they genuinely are worthy for the kingdom of heaven, if they genuinely have faith or not. So let's read it again. This is Ecclesiastes 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, right? And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So we're going to be tested through adversity to see if we genuinely believe in Yahweh Shema Shah or not. Yahweh Shema Shah, he personalizes everybody's hell. Okay, everybody's going to suffer and everybody's going to go through hell. And Yahweh Shema Shah personalize it for you, for me, for all of us. None of us go through the same hell. We all go through hell, but my struggles is not going to be your struggles. We may struggle on together on certain things, but your path, your hardships are not going to be my hardship. What you struggle with is not what I struggle with. So the Lord personalized everybody hell. Okay, everybody's adversity is going to be different. Some brothers may face the same adversity, right? But everybody's adversity, for the most part, on their journey is going to be different. Now, this is not just a test us, like us going through adversity. It's not just a tester to see if we're worthy for the kingdom of heaven, or we're worthy, do we genuinely have faith? It's not just to see that, but it's also to build us up at the same time, to make us acceptable men, to make us acceptable. You see? So it's not just to test us to see are we genuine, but also do we have genuine faith in Yahweh Shema Shah, but also to see if we are acceptable. To make us acceptable to them. Okay, let me show you that. This is the book of James chapter 1. James, book of James chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, "My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations." Right? That word temptation means you're suffering, right? You're going through adversity, as we read in Sirach 2 and 5. That's adversity. Okay, diverse temptations, right? Many adversities. Okay. So why did the apostle say count it all joy? Because we know temptation is how you say it in the Greek. See? An experiment, attempt, trial, proving. Isn't that a test? trial, proving the trial made of you by my bodily condition, since conditions served as a test to as a test as to test the love of the Galatians towards Paul. So it's a test that Yahweh by Shemal Shah is given towards us. Okay? It's a test. Alright? It's a trial. And how the Lord's going to test us, how the Lord's going to try us through suffering, through adversity. So look, here it is here. Adversity, affliction, trouble sent by God and serving to test or prove one character, faith, holiness. So that word temptation is going to many afflictions, many sufferings, because it's all sent by Yahweh Shema Shai, as we read in Sirach 2 and 5, to see if we genuinely have faith or not. Do we genuinely believe in what we believe in or not? And also to make us susceptible, right? Let's go into verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So see, the adversity that we're going through is not just to see, oh, do the Lord want to see, do I really believe in him or not? No, it's for us to actually build, it's actually building us up. It's toughening us up in the spirit. You see, it's work of patience. So it's giving us more patience. Okay? It's giving us more patience, and you need patience in order to finish this race, right? In order to finish this race, you need patience. You need patience. Show you this here. Because without patience, you're not going to finish this race. Let me see. It's Hebrews 6 and 12. Let's try that. Because this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Okay? So you want to pace yourself and have patience. It says, Hebrews 6 and 12, it says, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promise. So in other words, they finished the race. Okay, they got what the Lord wanted for them, right? They finished their journey. But how did they finish their journey? What do they have that we need in order for us to finish our journey, right? They had faith and patience. Okay, so without patience, you cannot finish your journey. We know we need faith. Hebrews 11 and 6 tell you without faith, loosely paraphrasing, right? Without faith, it's impossible to please him. So you need faith and patience in order to finish the race, in order to inherit the promises that the Lord has for you. Okay, in order for you to inherit all the things that he has set up for you in the kingdom of heaven. You need patience and faith. Okay, as this scripture, Hebrews 6 and 12, later reveal, you also need faith with your patience. All right, let me go into 2nd Ezra 7. 2nd Ezra 7 and 9. We're going to get back to what we was reading. But I just want to show you this real quick to show you the importance of having patience and faith. And these are going to be the two main things, among other things, that you're going to need in order for you to finish this walk. Okay. So this is 2nd Ezra 7 and 9. If this city, now the city symbolizes the kingdom of heaven, right? So if this city now were given unto a man for inheritance. So in other words, if you want to inherit the kingdom of heaven, right? if he never shall pass the danger set before it, so that means you have to go through the dangerous path, right? You got to go through the path of difficulties, okay? That's how you inherit the kingdom of heaven. How shall he receive this inheritance? So, you, in other words, you cannot receive the kingdom of heaven. You cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven and all of the blessings that the Lord has for you unless you go through this difficult path, unless you finish your walk. Okay? For you Akim and Aquas out there. This is why it's called a difficult path for a reason. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it won't drive you crazy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you at times you're going to feel like you're losing your mind, that you're going crazy, that you feel like the world is falling apart, that you feel like your world is falling apart, that times where you're going to doubt yourself, times where you're going to feel like you're that the Lord may not even be hearing you, or the Lord may not be dealing with you, right? Because it gets that hard. But the Lord is with you. If you still call on Yahweh Shema Shai, and you still believe, the Lord is still with you. Okay? It's just that, it's difficult. And sometimes it gets very difficult. But the Lord is still dealing with you. And you got to remember, if you don't finish your race, if you fall out, if you give up and fall out the race, then you can never inherit what the Lord has blessed, has planned for you. As Israelites, it tells us in Romans 11:6 that we're going to be in the kingdom, that we're all going to be saved. And how we're going to be saved, loosely paraphrasing, right? Romans 11 and 26. Okay, but how we're going to be saved? We're going to be saved through the 2/3 are going to be saved through the elect, through being children of the elect. But, see, this way all Israel will be saved, loosely paraphrasing, right? So, Israel as a whole, the 2/3, they're going to come back in the kingdom, right? All Israel, okay? But they're going to have to be in grief. They're going to have to be in sadness and grief for the evils that they did on this side, Okay, you don't want to be that way. You want to have joy and enjoy yourself in the kingdom of heaven. You don't want to be sad and this was Romans 11:26, loosely paraphrasing. Let me get it in the KJV. And so, this is Romans 11:26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. So again, the Israelites, 2/3 of our people, are going to be saved through being children of the elect, of the 144,000, okay? And the 1/3 that make it on this side, okay? The 2/3 are going to be children of the 144,000, right? But there's a course for coming in the kingdom that way instead of suffering for righteousness' sake. And we're going to show you this here, right? You don't want to fall out of this truth, and then you have to live with this. This is Daniel 12:2. It says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Okay, so that's talking about being brought back to life, right? Coming back into this world. Those who were once dead, they're going to come back into this world, right? Some to everlasting life, you see? So the brothers and sisters, right? The Akim and Akwaf and the believers who died on this side, right? For Yahweh Shema Shah, they're going to inherit what? It says some to everlasting life. So they're going to inherit eternal life, right? And some to shame and everlasting contempt. Now, is this to say that the 2/3 in the kingdom of heaven are not going to be immortal? No, they're going to be immortal because they're going to be children of the elect. So they're going to have everlasting life, but they're going to have to bear the shame and everlasting contempt, right? Which means for a very long time. They're going to have to bear shame and contempt for a very long time in the kingdom of heaven, And who knows, days, months, and years are going to be stretched out. So imagine you in the greatest kingdom ever, and you can't enjoy it because you're dealing with all this heaviness and grief because of the sins that you did on this side. You know, it says contempt. Contempt. The feeling that a person or a thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. Okay? And that's how they're going to feel about themselves, you know, because of all the evil and wickedness that they've done. Okay? There's another scripture to show you. And what it is? Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 31. Then shall ye remember your own evil ways. Right. So when you're in the kingdom of heaven, right, even though you're going to be immortal, the 2/3 are going to be immortal, but they're going to remember their own evil ways, right? And your doings that were not good, okay? And shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. So all the evil that you've done on this side, you know, the 2/3 are going to remember that. And that's where the contempt, as you read in Daniel, the 12th chapter, right? The second verse, that's where all the contempt and the shame is going to be coming from. The fact that they remember all the evil that they've done on this side. So you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be living life through grief in the greatest kingdom ever with grief and sadness and heaviness of heart, right? So stay in the walk, you know, just stay in the walk. It's not easy, like I said. It gets hard. You cry. You feel like, you know, the world is on your shoulders, but stay in the walk, okay? So now that I share with you the fate of 2/3, let's go back to James chapter 1 and verse 4. Read verse 3 at the end. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So the test that Yahweh Shema Shah gives us is not to see if we have genuine faith. It's not just for that. It's to build up patience in us. Because like I went over, you need patience, okay, and faith in order to finish the race that you're on, in order to finish your walk. All right. Verse 4, it says, but let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. In other words, suffer, okay? Accept the process. Accept the process. And it's not easy to do that, but accept the process, because guess what? It's going to make you perfect. It's going to make you yeah, not in body, because we're not going to get perfect physically until we get new bodies. But look, when you look up the word perfect, it says brought to its end, finished, wanting nothing, necessary to completeness, perfect, that which is perfect, of men, fully grown, adult of full age, mature. So in other words, this word perfect is talking about maturity. So your sufferings, right, your adversity is going to make you mature in the faith. It's going to mature your faith. It's going to mature your patience. It's going to mature your character. So uh, you want to go through the suffering. You want to accept the sufferings and the adversity that the Lord put on you, understanding that it's going to build you up and toughen you up and make you better. It's going to mature your faith. It's going to mature your patience. Okay? And that's what you're going to need in order to finish your walk. So let's read it again. James 1 and 4. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right? Because you're complete in the sense of a ripe age. You're mature, okay? You're mature. You're ripe, okay? Like a plant, like a fruit. You're ripe. So you definitely just want to accept, and it's hard. Trust me when I'm telling you, it's hard. But you need to accept the adversity the Lord put on you, knowing that is building up your faith, and is building up your patience, and building up other things in you that you need in order to finish this walk. Okay. Um, Let me get this real quick. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, "There have no temptation taken you, but such is common to men." So the sufferings and adversity you go through is no, the Lord is not going to put no special suffering and adversity for you. Okay? Even though we may not suffer and struggle in the same way, we still going to struggle like everybody else. For example, you got some brothers, they can't help themselves. They like chocolate. They can't resist chocolate. You know, you got men who love who lust, right? When they see beautiful women, they just lust, you know. So these are the adversities and the struggles we're gonna have as men. Okay, the Lord is not gonna give us any special, uh, unique suffering. It's gonna be unique for us, but it's nothing that no man ever never faced before. There are men who constantly battle with lust, men who constantly battle with temptation like chocolate, or or you know, money, being materialistic, right? Envying, whatever the case may be. These are things that are common to men. Okay, so the adversity, struggles you go through, there's been men before you who went through it, and men on the earth now that's still going through it, right? So there have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh Shemashah is faithful, meaning what? That the Lord is with you in your adversity, in your afflictions, in your struggles. The Lord is with you. See, that's the advantage that you have over the people in the world. The people in the world, the Lord not dealing with them. So they don't have the Lord with them when they're going through their struggles and afflictions, right? They got to kind of figure it out, and put their hopes and faith in the system, that the system will work for them. Okay? Let's continue on in the verse. It says, "Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able," right? In other words, he won't put on you more than what you can handle, right? More than what you can withstand. So this adversity you're going through and the afflictions that you're suffering right now, the Lord gave it to you and allowed it in your life because He know you can overcome it. Okay, this is not something that's too hard for you. The Lord is fair. You see that? That's mercy and that's fairness, because you're struggling with something that you can overcome. You know, something that you can beat. Imagine you struggling with something that's overwhelming for you. You're just gonna fall. It's gonna break you. Okay, but the Lord didn't allow that. He giving you the adversity, right? Challenges in your life. The Lord is allowing it because He know you can overcome it. It's not more than what you can bear. All right. Let me continue down the verse. It says, "But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it." In other words, He's gonna give you a break. Okay, in your afflictions, in your sufferings, right? There's gonna be moments of breaks, moments of like a release, you know, like a good sigh out, so it's not going to be suffering 24/7. The Lord is fair. Again, the Lord is merciful. So there's going to be moments in your suffering when He's just going to give you a break. He's going to let you relax a little bit, before you going back in that fire, right? Because that's what the fire symbolizes. And as we read in we open up with, which is Sirach 2 and 5, right? That fire is the adversity, okay, that we're going through. So before we go back in the fire, the Lord's gonna give us breaks where we can just relax and, chill for a bit, and then, we go back in that fire again, because as we read in James 1, right, 3 and 4, that adversity is building up our patience, okay, is making us, is toughening us up and making us mature in the faith. So that's good, because we're going to need that in order to survive in this walk, in order to finish this walk. Okay? So I just want to bring this out to show you that, the Lord won't put on you more than what you can bear. All right? one of my favorite scriptures now. Let's go to First Peter 3:12. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous." So his eyes are over us. You Akim and Akwath that believe, he watches over us, right? And his ears are open unto their prayers. So he's listening, waiting for us to pray to him. So in our afflictions, in our struggles, in our adversity, right, we can pray to him and he hears our prayers. Okay? So in that way, the Lord being with us is lightening the load even more. You know, we're catching hell, but but what makes it bearable is not only the breaks that the Lord gives us, but the fact that he listens to us, that he's hearing us in our prayers. So it makes the load, the the burden that we're going through more lighter. All right. The people in the world, the Lord don't hear their prayers because they wicked. Okay. The Lord not listening to them. You know, like I said this many times. The Lord will have mercy on whom He has mercy. So if He has mercy on them, He chooses to have mercy on them. But for the most part, these people in the world, they don't even pray to the Lord. Plus, the Lord don't even hear their prayers. So they have to bear the burden of their struggles by themselves. But for us, those who believe on Yahweh Shema Shai, we have access to the Lord through prayer. And that in itself lightens our afflictions. It lightens our load. Because, of course, when we're catching hell, you're going to cry to the Lord. And in turn, it's going to lighten the load on you. Make it more bearable. Make it more easier to deal with. Okay? Let me continue down the verse. It says, "But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil." Okay? So that's these people in the world. All right? So I just brought this out to show you that the Lord hears your prayers, and we have access to the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah through prayer. So of course, when we're catching hell, we pray, and in turn, that lightens the load, and it makes it much more easier to bear whatever adversity we're going through. So yes, we're gonna go through the fire, we're gonna get breaks, and we're gonna go through the fire again. It's a constant process of us going through the fire, being molded, being molded, being molded into the men and women we have to be for the truth. Okay? It's not an easy process, it's very uncomfortable, speaking from experience, but it's something we have to do. I'll leave you off with this. This is the book of Job, chapter 24. That Job understood this. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is, 23, Job 23 and 10. "But he knoweth," that's Yahweh Shema Shah, "the way that I take." Okay, so Yahweh Shema Shah knows how difficult this path is, man. He knows the adversity. He knows how hard it is. He knows how difficult it is. He knows how frustrating it can be. He knows how painful it can get. He knows that it feels like the world is on your shoulders. He knows this already, right? Continue down the verse. It says, "When he had tried me," right? He tested me through adversity. That tried means to test, to try out, to check. How's he going to do that? We read in Sirach 2 and 5, right? Adversity. So he's testing us through adversity, right? Continuing down the verse, it says, "I shall come forth as gold." So let me read it all again. "But he knoweth the way that I take. When he had tried me, when he hath tried me, he knoweth, but he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold." See? Gold. Fully developed. Perfect. Fully developed. Okay? Not lacking anything. So this fire is building us up. This adversity that we go through, which represents the fire, right? Again, in Ecclesiastes 2 and 5, is making us into polished gold.
is making us better and better and better and better and better and stronger and stronger and stronger in the faith, in the truth, in our faith, in our patience, and in our minds and spirits. So it's an uncomfortable process, but it profits very much. All right. So Lord willing, I hope this was comforting and edifying. We give all honor, all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kadash. So next time I say, Shalom.